Yo, 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 it's D.Arthur in the building. I am speaking to you guys today about the tables will turn on semen retention. The bottom line is the tables will finally start turning on semen retention. Now, what does this even mean? What does this even mean? The tables will turn. The tables will turn because you finally feeling more fulfillment in your life, that regardless of what she does, you're not as affected by it. The bottom line is, men, as men, there's going to be a lot of trials and tribulations in your life, and most of the time you're the one who's going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to deal with it by yourself. In today's day and age, a lot of the when S hits the fan, you're the one who has to deal with it. You're the one who has to be in your mind, in the depths of your mind, overthinking about she flaked, this didn't happen, this didn't pan out, this happened. All of these things that you as a man usually go through. The world has no space for weak men. You have to go through all of the BS that usually happens to you, and you are still expected to do it with a smile on your face. And if you whimper, if you if you if you surrender in a sense to all your shortcomings in society, you're looked as a weak man. Realize how hard the day and age of a man has to be. The life of a man has to be. Realize this. And you have to do it with a smile on your face. You have to do it with a smile on your face. So I'm gonna get into this video in a deep psychological level. I'm gonna relate it to some book that I was over that I was hearing, this audiobook, and I'm going to just see some similarities. But the bottom line is, but before we get started into the end of this video, make sure after watching this video, I want you to do one thing. Click on the link in the description down below. Check out the high value blueprint end-to-end presentation that I have put together. Now, once you get on the page, the video itself is not the best. I promise you. The video itself is not the best. So bear with me. But there's a call to action after you watch the video. Book a free call with me, and we can go into the depths of your life and see what can work, what we can double down on to actually start getting you some tangible results in your health, your wealth, and your relationship life. So make sure you click on that link in the description. Now, the tables will turn. I was reading Outwitting the Devil audiobook, reading it, and there was a part of overindulgence in sexual activity. Overindulgence. Now, this is not to say that you should totally abstain from sexual things for forever, but what it is saying is that it's overindulgence, meaning it's like it like occupies your mind 24/7, and it is pretty much controlling you. When it gets to the state where it controls you, then there is a problem. When it's when it's something that you can't control, when it's something like that has power over you, in a sense. If it has power over you, then what it said is that you're not able. What it was saying is that the sexual energy was used to create a lot of different things in life. With a lot of different things, it was used to create. So when you overindulge in it and it has power over you, you lose your willpower. And because of this, you can't concentrate, can't focus on specific tasks, and you become a drifter. This is what it is saying. This is what it said. And then there's this thing called the law of hypnotic rhythm, where it starts becoming a total habit, and you at some point you don't even think about it consciously. It just happens. This is called the law of hypnotic rhythm. It just happens continuously without you even consciously thinking about deciding it. So the bottom line is, The tables will turn for you because you're finally full in yourself. The bottom line is, guys are not doing enough in their own lives to not be totally, you know, totally pissed off if something happens. Maybe if you're in a relationship, if you're dealing with a girl. The bottom line is, once you're becoming more fulfilled in your life, a lot of the things that happen to you, it's going to be BS. Once you're more fulfilled in your life, like you're just totally fulfilled, you don't need anybody else, quote unquote. Sure, you would like to have someone, but it's not something that you're in total desperation of. You're non-needy. You're more likely to approach in a way where you're non-needy and you're outcome independent, and this is probably why it's going to go better for you. If you're too dependent, if you're way too dependent and you need her specifically, in a sense, especially if you're approaching her or anything like that, then it probably isn't going to go well. So you have to come into every interaction, everything with a indifference, with an uncertain mindset where you're just super indifferent. Once you become indifferent, regardless if she says yes or no, it's okay. Now, guys always want a companionship, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to become outcome independent. You have to become outcome independent. This is the best way. This is the best way for you to stay the course, because if you're too dependent on her, if you're too dependent on her actions, you're probably gonna be disappointed. I am saving you disappointment that's inevitably gonna happen. If you're dealing with a woman, eventually you may probably get disappointed in a sense. Now, you can either prevent this or you can totally be detached. But in a sense, you're probably gonna you're gonna get disappointed in a sense, but it just depends how you respond to it. You can respond to it regardless of how you think. Now, the bottom line is, the reason why the tables will turn is because you don't need her. This is the bottom line. You do not need her. Going on NoFap gives you a sense of not needing her, because since you're walking with a full nutsack, you're feeling pretty good about yourself. If you've been self-improving, you've been consistently working out, you've been improving in your business, you've been improving in all aspects of your life, you have been feeling good about yourself. So you don't really need her. You don't really need her as much, because if she leaves, you're still fine, because you have a lot of things going on in your life. The key is to have a lot of things going on outside of the dynamic between you two. That way you can still feel okay about yourself. Society, they have these dating coaches, they're saying that you need her, and it becomes some sort of thing where it's shunned against to be alone. If you're a single man, you're usually looked at as there's something wrong with you. This is what society has sold you. They use these dating coaches tactics, make it so that if you don't have, if you're not currently dating a girl, then there's something wrong with you. Sure, there can be something wrong with you, but the bottom line is, if you come across as someone that your total life is depending on her being with you, then you have already lost. This is what they're trying to shove in your face. They're making the female dynamic so important into your life. Now, this is not to say I am not saying that you should just totally disregard women and say, oh, you don't need her, and go on with your life. That is not what I'm saying. If you believe that, you are not getting the point of this video. The bottom line is, what I am saying is that you need to become independent. You need to be emotionally independent from the actions that she does, because inevitably there's going to be things that happen, but you have to have a strong foundation in your life. You have to have a strong foundation in your life. If she leaves forever, you're still fine. You're still the one laughing. You can still hold a smile. This is how detached emotionally that you may have to be. Now, what I'm also saying is that you can still love her. You can still love her with all your heart, but you cannot be so totally attached to the actions that she does every single day. Because I promise you, women are the most up and down species in the world. It's a very up and down type of thing. A lot of their behaviors are conditional. These are the most conditional behaviors. So when guys say things like "my girl," this, and that, just realize these are the most conditional words that you have ever spoken in your life. These are very conditional words that you are speaking. Just never get too proud, never get too prideful, because these are very conditional things. Her actions for you are conditional. This is what you have to realize. You have to have a life outside of her. You have to be your own man. The tables will turn because you're finally becoming more fulfilled in your own life. And eventually, you're going to attract someone who adds to that. But until then, you cannot have her the center of your world, because she will sense this and she will leave. You cannot be so. You cannot. You can also. You have to have one. You have to have higher expectations, and two, you have to tolerate less BS. You have to tolerate less BS. The bottom line is, guys, she does a lot of things to try to get away with some things, and you're never calling it out. You're letting it play on, play on, play on. You're in this state where you're lucky to be with her instead of she being lucky to be with you, and it just never ends well. If she sees that she can do better than you, then she probably will subconsciously, and eventually she is on her way out. These are all the things that you just have to realize. Remember, it's a conditional relationship based off your extents of value in her eyes. That's all I am going to say. So the tables will turn because you're finally feeling fulfilled in your own life. So you may not need as much, and you're not so emotional based off her actions. If that made sense, I want you to like the video. I want you to comment. I want you to subscribe to the channel. I want you to click on the link in the description down below. Check out the high value blueprint. Book a free strategy call, and we will see you in the next one.